I don't like calling it that. Authorization, I feel, is a better word for it. Why do you ask it's a better word for it? Why did I save that? Why did I save that? Why is authorization a better word for it? Because it's a contrast with authentication. Authentication is concerned with like who you say, are you who you say you are? So like that whole login password thing is. Authorization is like, okay, I know who you are, but like, what are you allowed to do, right? And so we've done so far, create the user model, implemented user registration, session management, right? What we're going to do is that we're going to use some before actions and helper methods to do authentication checks. And so what we're essentially going to do is what we're going to do is we're going to implement code to make sure, like, hey, are you allowed to go where things are? So, give me a second as I do something else. I'm also like playing this game here, and I'm trolling other people I'm playing this game with, which is par for the course for me. I'm sorry, just trying to do multiple things at the same time. Oh, and the dog is being a dog. I don't even know what she's doing. I'm sorry. I am scatterbrained today. For me, it is a Sunday afternoon, and I spent outside this morning, and it is wild. Cool. So what are we doing here? Well, I mean, I think that we first start with writing some tests. And so, let's do this. Let's go to tests. We're going to use authentication. Here, let's make a new folder. And we will call this user authorization. And we're going to first test file. And we'll call it user authorization spec.rb. Cool. And let's start running our test. Acquire Rails helper. And type feature do. And what we're going to do is let user leveraging the factory we've created for our users there. Right, and so that's going to be something that exists for every test. We need it, use it. Cool. So what we're going to do is, okay, so we have this here. Next step is we are going to test describe accessing protected resources. Right, and the context is when user is not authenticated. Typing hard, right? it redirects to login page when trying to access dashboard. So essentially, I don't have a dashboard yet. I'm going to make a dashboard page as a controller. I'm going to make a dashboard, all that stuff. And what we're saying is that it's going to make you log in when you go through that access dashboard, right? So it's going to be simple. Visit dashboard path, expect current path to equal login path, expect page to have content. You must be logged in to access this page. Right, so we're saying like, hey, if you are just using it, logged in, you try to access the dashboard, it's going to bounce you out to the login page and say like, hey, you got to log in. Right. Cool. So that's the first context. The next context is what we do when user is authenticated. Right. When we start the session, we're going to visit login path, fill in email with user.email. That's kind of the user we create up above with our factory. Password, and the password is going to be password 123. Click button, log in. Cool. And afterwards, we're going to do it allows access. Dashboard. Visit dashboard path, expect current path to equal dashboard path, expect page to have content dashboard. Right. So we've written tests for when we're trying to access the dashboard, it's going to bounce back to login. And when we're authenticated, it should allow us to access the dashboard. And what I'm going to use, I'm going to copy and paste some additional tests, which are not too interesting. And we're describing access public stuff, right? That you should be able to access all these different pages without authentication, right? That's great. Those are our tests. So now we have tests. We want to let's create an application. Let's update the stuff we have in the application controller because it's going to take place everywhere. All right, we got some helper methods. I'm going to add a before action. Right, and it is going to require login. And essentially what we're saying is that before we do any action, we are going to make a, I guess we're going to change some stuff here. We're going to change authenticate user. I'm going to change this a little bit here. I'm going to change the name of it. First, I'm going to change the name of it to require login, and this is going to run every single time. And unless user signed in, alert redirect to the path. Right. Cool, so this is just going to run every single time. And now it redirects to the login page. So next up, we're going to create a dashboard controller. Controllers, new file. Dashboard controller, not dashboard confessional. Oops, all the way around. And this is going to be a blank page. Cool. The thing is that one thing, because we have our before action, that's going to essentially require, to be logged in things. However, we need to make some pages public. So the public stuff, we're going to do this. We got our home controller, and in here, our home controller, I'm going to do this. Skip before action require login, comma only index. So what we're actually saying is that with the application controller, let me pull this to the right hand side here. We have this require login method that will require a login for every single page we access. However, because the home page is just public, we're going to put a skip before action. It is going to be easier for us, because of the way this game works, you're going to need to be logged in for most of it, right? It is easier to blanket require login for everything and then carve out our exceptions, right? So this is one. Sure. Oh, I just dropped some shit on the floor. Cool, there's that. And so for home controller, skip before action there. I'm going to put another line of white space there. Then we go to sessions controller. This is another one. We're going to add a skip before action. Skip before action. Require login only new create, right? Because the new form and the login form and the create new user form don't need to be logged in. Destroy, we need to be logged in because you got to log out, right? Cool. So that's the sessions controller. That looks good. Users controller. And I'm going to do the same thing where this is going to be skip before action, and it's going to be require login only new create, right? Because you don't need to be logged. You don't need to be logged in, have a user if you're just trying to create a user or create the form to be user, right? So we don't need that there. And now we're going to have to update our routes. Right, so resource user, I'm going to add our dashboard here. Get dashboard to dashboards index as dashboard. And this is essentially we're just kind of like this here is essentially what we're going to do to get our dashboard routes, right? And this syntax is something that you probably haven't seen before. Let me make sure I type that right. No, yep, that is right. Every single time the double colons like that, I get like weirded out. Like, did I do that right? So this is let's break down what this is. The get says this is the verb we're using. Dashboard is URL path, so that means it's going to be /dashboard. Any get request to to dashboard is going to run to this is going to run to thing there to the dashboard's controller with index. Did I spell that right? Did I do dashboards controller? No, I didn't. is going to be dashboards controller. Right, just make sure I am being consistent here. Yeah, dashboards controller. And I want to rename this file to match dashboards controller. The plural thing still gets me. So where was I? The routes. And it's going to be dashboard path is what we're going to do it. Right, and so this is the thing, like it's dashboard singular. That's why we have to do this kind of manually. It's going to be as dashboard, so it's dashboard path. Right. Cool. So now we got to make a view for it. I'm just gonna use the AI generated placeholder view. So we are not doing anything weird. Views, new folder, dashboards, index.html.unib. I'm going to copy and paste this. Cool. And we are going to add a dashboard link for authentication to users. So this is going to be in my, what was that? Application.html.env. And this is going to be if user signed in. Where are you? If flash any. If user signed in, we are going to modify this to dashboard path. Right? And then let's run our tests. Oh. Authorization, accessing protected resources when blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this is user authorization spec, line 10. Let's take a look at that. User authorization spec, line, that's authentication, authorization spec. Oh no, did I put it in the wrong folder? Yes. That's fine. That's fine. Line 10. All right, so here we are expecting card path, the login path. And what's happening in this test here is that we're expecting login path, we're getting dashboard. So let's take a look here. I think that's because in my application controller, I'm running this require login and redirect the root path. So yeah, we said we're gonna redirect to the login path, but like let's just redirect home, right? That'll be better. Like path to equal to root path. Let's see if I do this anywhere else. Root path. Oh, here's another one. Cool. I'd rather redirect there, and now we do RSpec. No. Oh, okay. So let's tear this apart one more time. So this is user authorization line 37. Let's look at 37 most important. It allows access to login page without authentication. Did I change this because I just saw it? Yeah, I think I did. I think I just changed that without thinking. I saw a login path and said, oh, it's got to be root path. So that should fix that. And now the error message is accessing protected users on resource bcrypt invalid hash. Failures if user and user authenticate params password. So this is going to be, let's see what test this is. User authorization spec line 23. Let's take a look at test 23. Visit dashboard path. And the error message is on sessions controller line 9. Invalid hash. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to binary prime here, right? And then I'm going to run this test and this test only. Oops, nope, not there. And it should pick that up. Cool. So let's take a look at what our params is. Params, email, password. Right, so, okay. So let's see here. Params, password. Let's see if that's, works. That works. So user.authenticate params password. Invalid hash. Huh. And so I'm like, why is that not working? Let's take a look at, let's put our test right. And this is test line something. Let me see it. It's this one here, right? Password 123. Why is it invalid hash? All right. I need to go to the bathroom. Gotta take a break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, just drinking a lot of water today. Drinking a lot of water today. Let me Google this and see what this means. I mean, all right. So I think that the problem here is looking at what I'm googling. It's that. Oh, this is stupid. This is stupid. Let's look at our factory, right? So what we're doing is that we're storing password digest as literally this, right? And we're not letting this happen. So what we're going to do is that I'm going to change this password digest right to password there. And what we're doing, we're saying a password hash, right? And so I'm going to change the password hash. This is not going to be the hash. It's going to be password 123, right? So this should work now if I do this. Let's try. Let's hope. I'm going to, where did I put that prime? It's going to be sessions controller. What? Here we go, yeah. And hopefully this will do it. Let's see. Go team! Yes! Oh, yeah. So essentially, well, let me explain what I did here. In our users factory, we were setting a password. We're setting the password digest to password 123. By changing it to password, what's going to happen, because we don't store passwords with bcrypt, and we should never store passwords, store a hash, which is a calculated value. By entering password 123, bcrypt will take that, store as a hash, and then we can enter the password like this. But that works. That works. We've done a thing. That's fantastic. That works. So let's do this for realsies. Oh, I'm going to do that. All right. I am going to, where's my browser? Right. Becky. Dashboard. Here's my dashboard. None of this stuff works, but it's a dashboard, right? Log out. Dashboard. Must be logged in. Done it. Can't go visiting other things. We have to explicitly kind of whitelist public pages, which I'm okay with. It's a little better to be that way. But anyway, we have done the thing. It is working. It is fantastic. Everything's cool. We took us a little under half an hour to implement this. And fantastic. So next episode, we're going to be doing a lot more planning. That's going to be a planning episode. If you don't like planning episodes, you can skip it. If you like planning in the process, stay tuned. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing next. But this is fantastic. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, follow, notification bell. Tell your friends, tell your parents, whatever you want. We just appreciate it all. But thank you for sticking around watching this and helping us get this figured out. Really enjoying this process. And see you next time.